hello my friends. This is Jay, and this is Jay's Knit and Purl Jam. And I'm so very glad that you stopped by today. Well, first of all, how are you doing? Hope everything is well. It's very hot here in the metro area. We finally have started hitting the 90 degrees, but we're trying to stay cool. And it doesn't matter what the temperature is. Knitters and crocheters, hey, look, we keep right on going. We don't care about the temperature, right? Right. Well, what'd you think of Jay's little trip down memory lane? Was that fun or what? Yes, I had an afro at least 3 inches tall. Oh my gosh, those are the good old days. And as you can see, that I showed some pictures of when I graduated high school and in 1965, and then I got married to my husband in let's see, make sure I get it right, 67, and his name, he goes by Sonny, or sometimes Bear. But as you can see, we've come a long way, and look, we look a whole lot better, I hope you think. So I just thought I planned to do that some time ago and just never got around to it. And I thought, well, this is a great time. I'll just pull out some old pictures without actually getting on camera and walking you through it, because I wanted to, just kind of let you see, a few background pictures, but I'll maybe later go into some of the background story and give you a few laughs. We'll share a few laughs or two about my journey. But in the meantime, like I say, no matter what the temperature, we knitters and crocheters, we are always busy. We're always on the move, making something, creating something. And this is the same. This project that I just finished, I could not wait to get it on film so that I could share it with you. And as you can see, and you can see by the pictures, this is a beautiful shoulder shawl. It's a simple pattern. I didn't try to go way crazy with a pattern. Really what I have done, I've taken 2 patterns and I've combined 2 patterns to make this beautiful lacy looking shoulder shawl pattern. Very simple. I think you're going to really enjoy making it. Let me turn it over. Here's the back. And it was just a lot of fun. And like I said, I also have it in 2 versions. I like to give you a choice. If you're not, maybe you don't need a full shawl, but this shawl is so nice. It can be worked in several weight yarns, but this very soft yarn, we are going down and try to work in maybe lightweight yarn. Just because, of course, we're having summer here, and it just looks pretty and it drapes prettier in this lighter weight yarn. So it can range from any number of yarns, but I'll go through what I've used and then give you some suggestions, of course. And of course, you always have your little extra, your little crochet flower, little crochet rose, if you like the little accessory. So, like I said, I'm glad you're here. I feel great. I'm back. I'm ready to go. And I want to share Jay's Crochet Live, Love, and Laugh Shoulder Shawl. And I hope you enjoy it. It's a great crochet, and I think you're going to enjoy it. So let me clear this up. Let's get some yarn out. Let me give you some information, and we'll go from there and show you the pattern. Okay, let's talk yarns. All right, this is a nice stash busting project, but I'm going to go down. I normally work in medium weight yarns, but this project is so soft and we need it to drape, and it's such a pretty you know, the way the stitches fall. It just looks and feels and drapes better in a thinner yarn. So I'm using, first of all, Caron Simply Soft is a yarn that a lot of you have. I know I have a lot of it. I use it a lot. But it is a medium weight, considered a medium weight yarn. Okay? Even though it's they call for an H crochet hook. I did work up a portion of this shawl with some of this yarn, but I used a size I crochet hook just to give it more drape. It's nice, you can use it, but it is a little heavier compared to the one on my sample. So I'm just showing you that you could use Caron Simply Soft. So all the other yarns that I'm going to share with you are going to be lighter weight. And that's what we really need, a lighter weight yarn. So for instance, here is Bernat Satin Sport. You could try to use the Bernat, the regular satin, to see if you like that, if you have some of that in your stash. You're going to need at least 3 skeins of these different yarns. You know, just depending on how large you make it, but at least 3 to start. But this is in the weight, it is considered lightweight, and this is where we're going with this shawl. So this is a lightweight, even though they may call for an H or an G hook. I would still, for me, I still would try to do it on an I, because I want the lace to really pop and not be close together, but to be loose and drapey. But this is a lightweight. It will be a 3 in the window, and that's what we're looking for, or that's what I'm suggesting. So real quick, let's go through some more. Here is, now I have several that I bought from Tuesday Morning. You know, Tuesday Morning carries this, is it Rosetti, Rogetti? I don't know, but it's soft payette, and this is Polaris. The soft pad is very nice. It is considered, I believe, a lightweight yarn. This is very nice. And like I say, but I would try to work with my size I hook to make this shawl very, very drapey. Now on this one, here's another one that I found at Tuesday Morning, and it has sequins in it. And it's a little of that thick and thin type yarn. But it is considered a lightweight. So that is very pretty. So, like I say, some of these you may have in your stash, and some of you may not. Some of you may have caught, oh gosh, I hit the camera. Some of you, I have to edit that out. Some of you may have caught the sale, and some of you may have, may never have seen this, but it is, if you have it, it will be great to use. All right, now let's move on to another one. Okay, a lot of you may remember when Michaels carried the Isaac Mizrahi, this beautiful merino blend yarn that was great. And then they, I guess, decided, I don't know if it wasn't good sales for them, but I enjoyed it, and I bought quite a few skeins of this. It is a lightweight yarn. The Isaac Mizrahi, the merino blend. And this is just really pretty. So this would work. I also had, I forgot about this. I also found this at Tuesday Morning. It was some Vanna by Lions Brand, and it was sequins. And it is definitely a lightweight. There's a 3 there, and it is very nice. I bought this in lots of colors. I bought just shopping bags full of this yarn in all different colors. So this would be a very nice yarn if you can find it, or if you have it in your stash. Maybe you caught the sale too. Okay. All right, here is the yarn that I bought from Joann's, and I showed you some video or so ago. It's Australian Superfine Merino. This would be gorgeous to work the shawl in. So you see, I'm trying to just go down and try to pick up and start and use some of this lighter weight yarn. And not last but not least, but here is from the yarn shop, Cast On Cottage, I got Classic Elite yarns, and this is Classical Silk. And it's very pretty. And I bought three skeins of this. And this would work quite well. Okay, but there's always a but. Okay, and the but is, after showing you all this yarn that I got lightweight, because I'm trying to help you find things in your stash, the yarn that I use for my project, it is considered a medium weight. It is considered, there's a 4 in the window, and it's considered medium weight. Now I found this, I got a lot of this in different colors. This is Yarn Bee yarn from Hobby Lobby. It is Soft Secret, and this color, the color of my shawl, is key lime. I just wanted, I didn't want you to have to run out and buy something if you had some of these, but this is the yarn I use. Even though they say it's a medium weight, it drapes as though it is a lightweight. Much lighter than Karen Simply Soft. So that's why I didn't use the Karen Simply Soft, and I use this instead. Or, as some of these would be all pretty also. Does that make sense? So, these are just some of the yarn options. Look around in your stash and see what you have. And of course, later on, I'm going to show you even some more ideas. But I want to get this down first so that I can go to the pattern, show you the pattern, and then show you this, share with you the stitch for this really pretty Jay's Crochet Live, Love, and Laugh shawl. All right? Okay, so now let's talk pattern. Okay, some time ago, I've had this book for quite a while, and then lo and behold, there's a companion book of, well, the name of this book is A Complete Book of Crochet Stitch Designs, and it's by Linda Scalper. Oh, that's the way I'm saying it. And then there's a companion book of borders, of crochet borders. But I'm not going to do I'm going to do a nice review on these books because they're very nice. But I wanted to let you know where I got, I'm sitting in front of the window, so I hope the glare is not too bad. Let me hold it up a little bit, maybe. How about that? So that you could see the, this book. And like I said, I'll do a tutorial, a review on it a little later. Because I like both of her books. They're great. But this is the book I'm taking the stitch out of that we're going to do for this tutorial. For Jay's Crochet Live, Love, and Laugh shawl. So let's see, I marked it somewhere. It is pattern number, it's pattern number 97. Now there's no names to the pattern. She just simply assigns numbers to them. And I wasn't going for something just really wow. This is a very simple pattern, but it suits the purpose for where I'm going to take one design and add it to this design and make this shawl. And I think you'll agree with me. It will be easy to make, easy to fit, and I think you'll look really pretty in it. So this is our pattern. This is the book that I've taken the pattern from. We'll review it on another at another time. Okay, now let me try to come up with a way to kind of get figure out some type of size somewhere for you to start. Simply because the way I crochet, I try to crochet by the number of repeats and not by chains, because I never know how many chains I'm gonna need. I might just change the design right in the middle of it. I might decide, I might want to change something. So next step is, let me go over that with you. All right. Okay. All right. I kind of wrote out a little sample of my formulas. I worked with my little calculator and I came up with some sizes just so that we can have a starting point. You know, I don't have written patterns and all of that, so you do need somewhere to start. So I'm trying to help you out to show you how I came up with my design. And then this, like I say, the more you do it, the more you kind of get used to figuring things out like this, you will be able to figure your own patterns as you go. Take your time. It's on this tape. You can look at the time right now on the tape and say, okay, so many minutes in, she's talking about this, or, you know, so many minutes in, she's demonstrating row 1. So that's all you have to do, and just put it on pause. All right, for example. Now, for example, for small size, I'm just going to do like small, medium, and large. I represent the large girls. Yay! Hey, holding it down. All right. Now, for the small size, I'm thinking, because see, I can calculate back from my own size. If I use my own self as an example, I can calculate up, I can calculate down, because I use the same formula idea, just like when I knit. You know, but, or when, you know, like I showed you on my size tutorials. But anyway, on a small size, I'm thinking this is I fit this by repeats, the number of repeats. Let me just check my camera, see if this is on, or maybe I should just lay it, let's see if I should stand it up or lay it down. Okay, maybe if I stand it up a little bit. Okay, so for example, for small, I'm thinking 11 repeats, and the stitch that I will be adding to the stitch from that I just showed you from our crochet book is going to be filet crochet, those little squares. That's what I call them. And it's going to take 33 for this number of repeats. Medium size, 13 repeats, and it will take 39 filet squares for that number of repeats. For a large, which is my size, or well, on this one it's larger, 15 repeats for 45. Now, this shawl runs, to me it runs large, the way I've computed it. So let me just go back and show you. So for me, like I say, this is how the formula, you'd write your formula once you find out how many repeats it's going to take. Here's the repeats in the middle, the shells. Here are the filet squares on each side of the shells. Like I say, to me this pattern is running large, but so I simply, for myself, I'm going to be doing the medium size for me. Yay, I didn't have to go quite so large. I wonder if my diet's working. Not. Okay, so for instance, if I was writing the formula, you know I'm the formula lady, and I'm gonna have a formula of, well, first of all, once I find how many shell repeats I need, so for instance 13, will just simply go from across my back from shoulder to shoulder. Here's my right shoulder, here's my left shoulder. You'd have to either go by my chart or just simply sit down and do the shell stitch that I'm going to, you know, demonstrate, and see how many it takes to go across from shoulder to shoulder, and make it an odd number so that you'll always know where the center back is, where the center shell. So if I had 12, then I'd go ahead and do an extra shell that makes it 13. To get these numbers on the side for the filet squares that I'm going to add to make this shawl, you know, fit around the front of your body, I took 3 times 13, or 3 times 11, or 3 times 15, and this gave me the number of actual filet squares, not chains. I don't know how many chains it's going to take, so we're going to have to just do a long chain, but we'll get to that. I'll give you the courage to do it. So for instance, my formula for J's Crochet Live, Love, and Laugh shawl, I'm going to do, only because it's already done and it's where it worked out, I will have 39 crochet squares on my left side, in the center back, going from across my back from shoulder to shoulder. I'm going to have 13 shells. And then, of course, if you have 39 on the left, you got to have 39 on the right of crochet squares. And that's now. So take a look, and you know we're going to be working in filet crochet. Then the middle section is the shells, and then the filet crochet section on the opposite side. So the point of it is, now I am using practice yarn, just some really worsted weight heavy yarn, and I'm going to use a size J on this so that you can see what I'm doing. On the project, on the real project, I use, remember, on mine, Yarn Bee Soft Secret key lime, and I used, oops, make sure I'm in the camera, and I used an eye hook. Okay, I just want to get that down. And like I said, my camera, I cannot believe this, but look. Oh, there's a net. Okay, first thing I want to do, the first thing I got to get you to do is to take my tip, because Jay didn't take her own tip and had to redo it a couple of times. I need you to make a long chain. I mean a chain so long that it goes from the tip of your arm span. You know, if you stick your arm straight out like this, way out, you know, I can't do it on the camera, but, you know, if you outstretch your arms from as long as you can, and you're going to crochet a chain at least that long and maybe 2 more feet. Or go a little more. In my world of crochet, since I fit my pattern by the number of repeats whenever I try to pick a pattern, I don't know how many chains we're going to have. And to keep you from having to, oh man, I ran out of chains, I got to start over, because Jay didn't take her own advice and I kept doing that. So make a chain as long as your arm span, from tip of your fingers out all the way across. Stretch your arms way out and just chain and keep chaining. When you get tired, chain some more. So maybe even a couple of feet extra. When we're done, whatever chain we don't need or use, we simply take off. Just that simple. Okay, but on this sample, I'm going to do a 5 shell repeat right here in the center. So remember, however many number of shells that I decide would fit across the back, and like I said, I'm using, you know, on my sample, I'm using 13, but on this sample, I'm going to use 5. I take 3 times 5 is 15, so I know that I'm going to have 15 filet crochet little squares, holes on this side and on the opposite side. So listen, on the 5th chain from the hook, after I make my long chain, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the 5th chain from the hook, give me a double crochet. There's my first little square or filet crochet space right there. Now chain 1, skip 1 on the bottom, and we go across until you have however many numbers. Chain 1, double crochet. You chain 1, you skip 1, then you double crochet in the next chain. Okay, I'm pulling up some yarn. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next chain. How come I can't get my yarn here? Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next chain. Now I'm going to see if I can. I cannot believe my camera. I'm telling you, this has been the strangest thing. I'm like, what did I do? I don't know. But it would probably cost me more than the little camera costs. You know, I know a lot of you film on your iPhone. I don't have an iPhone and all that, so this is a designated little Sony CyberShot camera that I use. Chain 1, skip 1 on the bottom, double crochet, and it's just perfect for me because, you know, I can't handle a lot of stuff, but look like Jay's gonna have to go upscale a little bit and get a designated, really, I don't know, my son said a real camera. Well, this is the one he told me to buy. Okay. So I'm just going on. I hope that message is not flashing on the screen. If it is, then of course I won't be able to submit this. I may not be able to use this video, but I'm pretending like it's not, so that I can get, if I can just get this video done and make the steps simple. All right, in my case I need 15 of these actual little squares or little spaces. So let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. I need one more. Chain one, skip one on the bottom, do a double crochet. See that? And I probably don't even have a marker. Oh gosh. Oh, the life. Oh, sorry. Oh, I do. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, now watch. I'm going to put a marker right here in this last square. That's because that fills up. I'm kind of getting 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. There's my 15 squares. All right, so now I'm going to do one more filet crochet square, chain one, skip one on the bottom. This goes to the pattern. The pattern starts right here with this space. So I've got that space marked, but this starts the pattern, this space right here. Now, here is the shell pattern. And let's see, make sure I'm on camera. Like I said, I'm so sorry about this. Okay. All right, on the shell pattern, let's make sure I've got it right here now. All right, we're going to skip 2, 1 2, skip 2 chains on the bottom. In the next chain, give me 5 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. I'm trying not to dally so I can get done. There's 5 double, 1 2 3 4 5. 5 double crochets. Now I need to put repeat this box on this side. So I'm going to skip 2 chains on the bottom, 1 2, and there's no chain or anything. Just after you do this, the 5 shells, then skip 2 on the bottom, double crochet in the next chain, 1 like that. Now chain 1 and double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next chain. And this is the repeat. Okay, see how it looks? All right, skip 2 chains on the bottom, 1 2, in the next chain 5 double crochets, 1 2 3 4 and 5. Oops. Let's see. 1 2 3 4, one more. I need one more. Oops. And 5. Okay. 5 double crochets. See it? Right there. Now, skip 2 chains, 1 2, double crochet in the next chain, then chain 1, skip 1 on the bottom, double crochet in the next chain. Now we're just flowing. Can you see what I'm doing? This, by the way, is row 1, and this is the right side. And I'm going to do this because I'm trying to save time so he doesn't have to edit. Like I said, he doesn't really know about crochet, and I forgot to use it. But I'm going to start using little things, little simple things, little fun things on the crochet. Knitting will be done as like I'm doing it. But on my crochet, I am on row 1. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a number there so that you'll know I'm on row 1. And he doesn't have to try to figure out where to put it. All right. Now skip 2 chains. 1 2. Give me 5 double crochets. 1 2. That's 3 4 and 5. Okay. All right. Get some yarn here. Now skip 2 chains, 1, 2, give me 1 double crochet in the next chain, chain 1, skip 1 on the bottom, and give me another double crochet. So far, how many I have of these shells? 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to do 5. Remember, you want an odd number. Skip 2 on the bottom in the next chain, give me 5 double crochets. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Now, skip 2 on the bottom, 1, 2, double crochet in the next chain, chain 1, you got to skip 1 on the bottom, and then double crochet in the next chain. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 1 more, so that I will always have a center to know where my design, where the center of it is. Skip 2 on the bottom, 1, 2, okay, 5 double crochets, that's 1, 2, 3, that's 4, and that's 5. Okay. Does that make sense so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, now I have to have one last space right here on the end before we go into the filet crochet, so I need to skip 2, 1, 2, double crochet into the next chain. Wait a minute, skip 2, double crochet into the next chain, chain 1, skip 1 on the bottom, and that ends the pattern. That's the center part of the pattern. Can you see it? There's a space there and a space there. Now we start the fillet squares all over again. I had 15 on my sample. I have 15 on this side, so I have to do 15 on this side. And you will mark this. Let's see, chain 1, skip 1 on the bottom, and double crochet. And if I had a marker, I don't know if I got another one. Jay was not prepared. Oh well, I'll have one next time you see it. Okay, but so I would put a marker in this one. So now I start 1, chain 1, skip 1. This will be square number 2, chain 1, skip 1, chain number 3. Let's see, chain 1, skip 1, and you're going to put the same number that you had on the beginning side. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. See, can I get some more yarn here? Okay, chain 1, skip 1 on the bottom. Yep, wait, you sure I'm skipping one? Right there. Okay, skip 1. This is why I'm using a large yarn and a larger hook. This is that chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, chain 1, skip 1. Now you know this would be also for people that love thread work, or if you like the sock yarn weight that a lot of the other shawls are made in. This one would be perfect. You find the hook that is appropriate or that feels right for you and for that yarn. So you could use that with no problem. Let's see, skip 1, here it is right here. And just see if I chain 1, skip 1. Now I'll take a count in just a minute, see if I have 15, because I need to show you. Let's just go chain 1, skip 1. Now do you see? Supposing I decided I need more shells. Well, I would have, and if I had tried to count it out, I would have had to stop and pull everything out and try to, this way all this chain that I don't use will take a loose. Chain 1, skip 1 on the bottom. Now I'm going to stop and count. Okay, here's my shell. Okay, this square doesn't count. It belongs with the shell. So now the next square does. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have 15 chains. You see that? I have 15 chains on this side with my shells in the center. I'm going to check my camera. Trying to get this. Okay. Now, this is how. Now, let me just tell you about the pattern. Now that you got the idea. On this pattern, every row from now on, the sides, we will decrease 1 square on each side. So the sides will always be decreasing in. But we will be increasing eventually in the center part of all these squares, all these shells, and they will be increasing out. These will be decreasing in, these will be increasing out. So we have finished row 1, that's the right side. See, now I don't have to get him to try to figure out where to put all this. All right, we're going to get ready for row 2. Oh, that was cute. I just made that up. I thought it up one day. I was at Hobby Lobby and I saw those numbers. I thought, well, you know, that'll be quick and easy. And then I don't have to explain to him what crocheting is. He understands the knitting, but I type that up. All right, when I get to the end, okay, or you get to the end of yours, you're going, this is how it's going to be on every row from now on, either side. Chain 1. Got it? Now turn the work. Chain 1, turn the work. Now, you see this double crochet right there. Not the one you're in, but the next one. Slip stitch into that double crochet like that. Just slip stitch it. Now chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, you've decreased 1 block there. Now, and this chain 4 represents 1 double crochet and a chain 1. So that's a double crochet and a chain 1. So now you just double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. Now I'm going to just rush on across now because I'm trying my best. Chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and you can hold it out and you can see how it's gonna be decreasing, how you get that edge. Okay, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. All right, I'm coming up, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. Almost up to, pull some yarn. All right, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. Okay, I'm coming up to my, getting ready for my shell. Now this last, even though it's it belongs to the pattern, we still have to follow it all the way up to the shell. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, just continue on, chain 1, double crochet. Now stop the chain 1. We are at the shell. So no more chain 1s. Find the center of the shell. That's why we did an odd number. We did 5 so that you can always have a center chain right there or center stitch right there. So we're going to just stack 5 on top of 5. So 5 double crochets. I'll get some yarn here. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, go right into a double crochet, the next one that stacks up, chain one, another double crochet into the next one. Okay, now you see that we're just stacking things on top of things now. All right, here's the next shell. No chain one, but find the center stitch, 5 double crochets there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, how are you coming? Does that make sense? Okay, I've stacked the shell. Now I need to go over and double crochet in the next one, chain 1 to make that space right there. Now double crochet into the next double crochet. Now I'm up to the shell, and I do 5. I stack 5 on top of 5. So that's 1, 2, okay, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I'm up to those 2 stitches there, those 2 double crochets. So I double crochet, chain 1, stack another double crochet there. And for my little sample, I'm up to, ooh, this is crazy yarn. I'm up to my last shell, I believe. Nope, got one more to go. So I need to stack 5 on top of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, let's see. Now I hold it open and I see those 2 double crochets right there. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Now I'm at the last shell. Whew, okay. I'm at the last shell, so I need to stack 5 on top of 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, let's see, that's 4, and one more, 5. Okay, now, all right, we're back getting ready to start the filet crochet section. So I just double crochet into the first square there. That doesn't start my 15 count. This will be important later. That's why you have to, know that this belongs to the pattern. I'll explain it a little later. So, but chain 1, double crochet. Now I start in repeating 15 all the way across. Chain 1, double crochet. We'll see if I can get to the end of this one. Chain 1, double crochet. Oops. Well, let's see. There we go. This is just some yarn I've used and used and used, and I've got some bad places here, so I thought it'll be perfect to practice so that you can actually see what I'm doing. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, pull some yarn up, double crochet, don't forget to chain 1, double crochet, oops, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. Alright, I'm coming up to the end. I just want to make sure that you see that I'm doing the same thing on each end that will decrease these each side. This is the last square there. So I go up, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. Okay. I need to go into this last double crochet, but not the post, not this end here. So I do a double crochet here, chain 1. See, that leaves this end open. Now we're going to do the exact same thing as we did on the other end. Chain 1, turn the work. Now, of course, this will start row 3. Bingo. So now watch, into this double crochet here, the second one, not the one you're in, you're going to slip stitch, slip this and slip it right through. Now chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's a double crochet plus a chain 1, and you go right into the next double crochet and you start the whole thing over. Chain 1, double crochet, you start the whole process, chain 1, let me do a few more, double crochet. Okay, now let's stop, make sure I'm on camera. I keep wandering off. Okay. Now you see the little steps and the little loops that form, and it's forming a decrease as we work inward. Now let's talk a few minutes so that I can get this on camera. Alright, first of all, this is the right side again, so just so that you will so that you know, I like to go ahead and mark as quick as I can so that I don't have a problem. So I'm going to take a really contrasting yarn, you know how we see, can I get it in here? Okay, this is the right side, I can tell, so I should have put it on row 2 is the wrong side. So row 2 would have been the wrong side, and you would have taken your contrasting thread and run it through. Try not to let it go over on the other side if you can. That's okay. Alright, and this will stay on until you are completely done, and then this way we don't ever have a problem. Okay, there's my wrong side. Alright, now row 3 we will continue across and you will work the shells as is. Okay, before we continue with our stitch, I wanted to make sure that I explain this because I have 2 separate patterns as far as the number of rows to do. This is the larger shawl, or the longer shawl, and then I'm more of the it's a shoulder shawl. The second one, my pattern is going to be I'm going to change it just a little bit because it's more of a neck shawl. So I wanted to make sure that, you know, I was confusing myself, and I thought, let me just make sure that we're on the same page. Okay, now when we start to work our pattern for the shoulder shawl, the first 5 shells or shell rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we will simply work as, you know, as it is written or as I'm going to demonstrate. No increases or anything. You'll work 5 rows. Does that make sense? Then after that, the next 5 rows of shells, I'm going to put a mark so I'll know where it starts. Just a little something to help me. Okay, the next will be your first increase. And the increase, as I'm going to demonstrate, is very simple. Before you come to every shell, you will chain 1. We will increase the 5 double crochets that we use in the shell to 7. So chain 1, 7 double crochets, in with the chain 1. And that will be on it for every shell that we do. Now, you're going to do that for 5 rows. The first increase, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. The next row, I'll put a marker because it represents my second increase. Increase number 2, make it easy. When I come to every shell, I will chain 2, do the 7 double crochets for the shell, and then end with the chain 2, and continue on. And that represents the second increase. And of course, and that's going to be 5 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, then I'll put a mark to represent increase number 3. And yes, before every shell, I will chain 3. I will do 7 double crochets to make the shell stitch, and then end with a chain 3. Those are the increases, very simple. And from that point on, you can just continue in that last increase, number 3, to the length that you feel that will look good on you. You just keep trying the shawl on. For instance, and by doing it in 5 row increments, it's just easier, you know. So I probably worked mine for like 25 rows, 25 shells up the back. And then eventually you will come to a place where you want to stop and go, okay, I think that's long enough. That's up to you. Everyone will have a different number, and you can stop at any place. After you do the 3rd increase, you can just, it's up to you how long you want the shawl. But at the end, work till you're on the right side row, because we have the back marked. See, we have a mark, you know, so you'll know the right side. And on the right side, we'll do just a little extra at the bottom on the last row, just to make it look pretty. So on this shawl, you're always increasing in the center, but every time you do a row, you are constantly decreasing the filet crochet part of this shawl. And like I said, it would be, I suggest that you leave some stitches, some squares open, that you don't try to, that you just leave some squares. I have maybe like 8 or 9 that I left, just so that I could put a pretty edge. When I'm all done and I'm doing the last row, I can just make a pretty edge and go all the way across. And so now we're on the same page. And to make sure that I wasn't confused and getting my 2 different patterns confused, this is the one we're going to demonstrate now on the pattern, the longer, larger shoulder shawl. Okay, does it make sense? We're together. Let's go. Yay! Okay, as you can see, we're going to get ready now to actually work the pattern. And I just finished showing you, sharing with you the overview, just so that I could stay on track, because I have 2 different patterns, like I explained, and I just want to make sure that I didn't confuse myself too. Okay, this is the shawl, the longer one. So now and just for time's sake, you know, this is just my sample. So instead of doing 5 rows, I'm just going to do 2. So just to save time and yarn and all that, so we can get on to the things we really need to. All right, I have just decreased. Every time I do a row, I will decrease 1 square on each end in the filet crochet, just like I've shared with you. Now I'm up to, and we are pretending now, Jay has repeated 5 shell rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're done. Now I'm on the next row, and I'm getting ready to do my first increase number 1. And I get up to a shell, and I simply chain 1. That's an increase. I have 5 double crochets to make this shell. We're going to increase it to 7. So I go 1, 2, that's 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 5. Now the increase is 6 and 7. So there's a increase there, and then to end this side I need to chain one because it's our first increase. Then I go back into my regular simple little pattern where I double crochet, chain one, and then double crochet in the next double crochet. Nice and easy. Make sense? Okay, then of course we have a shell. We have to increase this shell. Chain one, increase this shell from 5 to 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's a 5. Now the increase is 6 and 6, and then number 7. That makes an increase, and of course you have to chain one for that last increase. Now here we go, back in pattern, double crochet there, chain one, and then double crochet. Alright, we're up to another shell. Every shell, whatever your number is, will have to have this first increase. So chain one, that's an increase. 5, we turn into 7. 1, 2, 3. Let's see, that's 2, 3, 4, and 5, and the increase is 6 and 7, and chain one. Now we're going to go across, and you will decrease on the opposite end as I'm sharing with you, and you will work this number one decrease, this first one, for 5 rows. You will just keep going until you finish the 5th row. I'm going to work just 2 rows for each decrease just to save time. So I'm going to go across and come back, and then we'll start. When I say decrease, I'm sorry, increase, Jay, increase. We will come back and we will make increase number 2. But I'm just doing 2 rows just to save a little time. Does that make sense? Okay, see you back in just a moment. Okay, so now, just for time strain, I've pretended like I've done 5 rows of the first increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I've come up again, and I'm ready to do increase number 2. And that's before every shell, we will make an increase. So on this increase number 2, I simply chain 2. 1, 2. That's an increase. And I have 7 double crochets now. I've turned 5 into 7, and we will just stay with the 7. So now all you have to do is stack 7 double crochets up on top of this one. Oops. 1, 2. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. And the increase is 6. Well, the 7. 5, 6, 7. Okay, so there's my 7 shells now. And then, of course, we have to increase on this side. So I'll, oops. Well, Jay, what happened? Okay, that's 7. So now I'll chain 2. 1, 2. And the increase is made. Then I go right back into my little original pattern. My hands are so sweaty and sticky. My yarn is just sticky. It is very bad now. It's over 90-something degrees. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. 97, 90-something. I don't know. I ran out to the grocery store and I ran back in quick. I did not go to Joanne. I did not pass go or anything. All right, we're up to the next shell. We have to increase every shell. So chain 2, and then 1, 2, 3. You always know, because the number is odd, where the center or the top is. So I'm going to just stack 7 double crochets on top of the 7. So 1, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And chain 2. 1, 2. Get a little more yarn. Since we're taking a trip down, since I've taken a trip down memory lane. Okay, on my first video, my room tour. That's how I got started in this. I told you my son he's a Georgia Tech grad, and he works with the alumni, and they're always doing projects. So he needed a project, and so he had his camera and everything. He said, "Well, why don't you do a room tour? Why don't you let me put your room on?" All right, I chain 2, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. And I said, well, I don't know. Okay, I'm up to the next shell, chain 2, 1, 2, then 7. So eventually he taught me into it, and I did. And then, of course, then I saw myself on camera, and then I became a diva. Look, I like seeing myself on camera. So, but anyway, on my room tour, since we're, like I say, going down memory lane, how many of you saw something in my room that you probably, if you're young, you probably think, what was that? If you're older, you probably had one, or you probably don't have one now, but you probably like, my God, Jay's got one of those. Who, think. Who knows? Do you know what I'm talking about? You remember seeing something? If you haven't seen my room tour, you have to go back. It's the first video. And he did that little music for me. He made that little music up for me and to put me on the YouTube. And after I looked, I didn't even notice it for, I don't know, for maybe about a year. And then one day I looked and I said, oh my gosh, people gonna think I'm like ancient. Okay, it's a wall phone. Look again at the video. Doop to doop to doop to doop. And then as I pan around to different rooms as he's taking the pictures, that's before I got my camera and I started doing my own stuff. He was too slow and too busy, so he made me buy a camera. This one, the one that's going bad now. So I guess it served its purpose. It's 3 years old now. But anyway, I looked and I said, oh my gosh. I wonder if people know, if you remember, wall phones. Well, we built our house in the 70s. And back then, when you built a house from the ground up, you buy your own lot with a nice lot, and you build your house. Well, back then, the telephone, you call different contractors, and as you got ready to build your house, they would come out, install, and everything is grounded in the house. So we called AT&T. Of course, it was back Southern Bell then. That's before the monopoly, before they broke it up. Ma Bell, they broke up Western Bell, Southern Bell, Eastern Bell, now, because it was a monopoly. Anyway, I worked for them. We'll do that later. Okay, so once we, so they came out and they run the wires from the street into your house, into the walls, into everything. And so you're left with this big metal plaque on the wall. And if you try to take the phone off, well, you got this big metal. It's about big as my calculator, I guess. It's a big old metal thing that your phone hooks into. And then, of course, then the wires go through the wall and under the house or whatever, up in the attic and out to the street and onto the pole. For a landline. Yes, I still have a landline. We don't use it much because we have, other phones now, the newer phones. But we couldn't get rid of the wall phones because it would leave that big hole, big metal plaque. And guess what? I have one in the kitchen too. So, I have 2 wall phones left. We got rid of all the others. They weren't on the wall. They were just the old kind, that sit up on the counter or sit on your nightstand and things like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5, 6, and 7. So every time I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I wonder if people think, well, Lord, how old is Jay? She like ancient. But we can't remove the wall phone, but I think it's kind of like a piece of history. It's a nostalgic type thing. Oh, and they work. Oh, they work great. And this one was, if you look on, like I said, if you look on the video, it's white. Well, it was white, but it's turned really dark, dirty you know, beige color now because it's been there since the 70s. We don't, like I said, we don't use it. Chain 2, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. And let's see, chain 2, 1, 2, and we're ready for our 7. And so, you know, but oh yeah, so I used to sew up right here while I'm demonstrating. This, you know, I pull out my sewing machine. It's a big old opening under the counter, and I have all kind of drawer, you know, things to put. And here's my sewing machine plugged right back there. Had a hole put in. In fact, I used to have a hole in the center of the counter where my machine sat down, but when we redid the room, I covered that up because that was really inconvenient. You could never do anything because you had a big hole in the counter. And I said, never put a hole in your counter. Just let your machine sit on top. You know, I wanted it to sit down. I was trying to be all fancy for the 70s or 80s, whatever. Anyway, so it had a long one of those cords. I need to bring it over here. I can't get it. I'll get it when I change the thing. So I can bring it way over here and talk to my friends. Oh, yeah, girl, what's going on? Yeah, no. And I could just be sewing away with the phone propped up on my shoulders. Uh-huh. So I just wanted to bring in that little nostalgia. I think that's the best way than sitting just talking, going on and on, just to do it a little at a time. So, all right, I have just I've just shared the increase number 2. You see how easy it is. Okay, let me work a couple of rows and then we'll do 3. We really don't have to do 3. I want to get to the bottom. You know, you'd work your 5 rows of the second increase, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you start 3. Well, 3 would be chain 3, 7 double crochets, chain 3. Then your regular pattern. Then chain 3, 7 double crochets, chain 3. So I'm going to change and get ready so I can just show you a little bit of the bottom. And you can, when you get through watching this, you can watch my first video and see the wall foam. Jay's wall foam. Just wanted, hey, I'm just saying. Okay, so here's my little sample, and as like I said, we're pretending now. All right, so you've gone as far as you want your shawl, the length that you want. You've tried your shawl on, and you can see, and hopefully you have a few of these squares of the filet crochet squares left. Like I said, I had about 8 or 9 on each side left, and that's where I needed to stop. And that still gave me like 20 or 25 rows of shells. So you just decide, but make sure you know, go work until you stop on the right side row. So I'm on the right side row because there's my mark for my back side. So we want to be on the right side row so that we can finish up our shawl and put just a simple edging. Nothing real frilly because, you know, like I said, I'm short. I don't want all the ruffles and all that. I don't want too much. I just want something nice and clean edges and just really nice. But then you can change yours however you want. So, as you can see, I'm over on this edge. And I've chain 1, turn the work. And then, of course, I slip stitch into the second double crochet just like that and pull a loop up and go through. Now we would then we chain 4, 1, 2, or you can chain 3. You can chain 4, and all we're going to do is to kind of slip let's see, let's go ahead and do 4. That's what I did. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, if you do 4, then you're going to skip one of the double crochets and then single crochet, chain 4. Does that make sense? You would chain 4, skip one of the double crochets there. Now single crochet into the next one and chain 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip the next double crochet and single crochet into the next. This is just made up. You fudge it, whatever you need to do to make it look nice and neat. That's all we're doing to make sure the edge looks nice and neat. I have my edge loops right there on the edge, and then I'm just fudging this as I go across to get to my shells. Okay, then when I get to my shells, all right, I am going to Oh, I wonder if I chain 3. Let me pull out the reel. Let me pull out the sample. You know, sometimes I forget where I am. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Chain 3. I did. Okay. So now I'm up to my shell, and I still have, I can still do an increase. I'm going to chain 3 because that's the last increase I was doing. So 1, 2, 3 to get over to my shell. Otherwise, it's going to be a big jump. Now, double crochet we're going to double crochet chain 1 into each double crochet that makes up the shell. Every one, we're going to double crochet chain 1. So let's go. Here's the first one. Double crochet chain 1. Double crochet in the next one. Chain 1. Double crochet. Chain 1. Now this is mimicking our filet crochet. So now eventually, you know, everything is flowing together. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. All right, let's see. Double crochet, chain 1. I need a little more yarn. You see how it kind of ends, and yet this matches this now. And in the last one, double crochet. Now, we're going to chain 3 because we need to stay in pattern. So 1, 2, 3, chain 3. Now double crochet, chain 1, double crochet right there. The original pattern. Okay, the next shell, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, double crochet in each double crochet of the shell, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. A little more yarn, and double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. And you keep going into each and every one. Chain 1, double crochet, and then when you get to the end, we need to chain 3 to stay in pattern. 1, 2, 2, 3. Now I'm back to my original pattern. Double crochet here. Oops. Chain 1. And then a double crochet here. Okay, a shell. So we need to chain 3. So chain 3, that keeps us in pattern. Now, starting in the very first double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and you will continue across to the opposite end, and you will finish with your double crochet, chain 1, and then end with the chain 3, and then chain 4, skip 1, and connect, single crochet, chain 4, skip 1, and just end. Of course, you'll have to fudge it some kind of way to just slip stitch into whatever you have to end it, and that will end the whole row. But you see how now this matches the fillet portion of our shawl. Now I'm going to turn it around because it's kind of looks silly upside down. Okay. Now, isn't that nice? A nice crescent shape. Now you see how it was increased in the middle but decreased on the edges to give a nice front, real pretty scarf effect on the front. Now, before I show you something entirely different, I'm just going to pull the original back up because it's just so pretty. I just want to make sure you see it. I know you've seen it, but I want you to see it again. Jay was so excited. Like, Jay was so happy when I said, oh, this is so beautiful. I just wanted to wear it around the house. But you see how it drapes real pretty. And it's all in the yarn you pick. You know, it's kind of, you know, if you really want it to drape well, try to go to a lighter weight yarn, or like you say, sock yarn, threads. You can come up with some others. But now I'm going to show you a butt. You know, Jay always has a butt. And just another option. You know, I just like to kind of have something else in mind. And it really hit the spot for me. Okay, let me get that ready and I'll be right back. Okay, so as we get into my second shawl, and I'm calling it more of a neck shawl because it's just not as long or as wide as the shoulder shawl. Well, I was over, of course, I don't know when it was, but I've had it for some time, but I was over at Hobby Lobby. And after buying the Soft Secret, because I really love their Soft Secret, only because it's a little lighter than Karen Simply Soft, which is one of my favorites. You can see I got a ton of that, of Karen Simply Soft. But one day, I was over there, and I came across this yarn. It was down on the bottom, at the very bottom shelf, and I bent down to pick some up and look at it, and it's called Dazzling. This is from Hobby Lobby, and it's the Yarn Bee brand, and it's called Dazzling. Hope that's not too much of a shadow. So I thought, oh, well, you know how Jay likes to sparkle. So the sparkle drew me, and so I've got a couple of skeins, and I looked around. They don't have a lot of colors, but this color is called Pastels. So I thought, you know, they only let you use that one stupid coupon. And I just can't wait. You know, some people can say, okay, I'll just go back. Okay, I went ahead and I used a coupon on one and just paid the full price of $5.99 for the other scheme. Only because if I want to make something, I knew I would need more than just one, so I'd need at least two. And if I was making the full shoulder shawl, I'd probably have to have three. Okay, so I have two, and I bought this Pastel Dazzling. I've got two skeins of it. Look at that. It's kind of a bluish teal, gray, gray with a little light color in there too. It's just real pretty. And so I looked around. I thought, let me see another day now. You know, once I decide on I want to try yarn, then I used the coupon and I bought one. So I waited, you know, maybe till later on in the week or the next week, and I got another coupon. And I went back and I got this one. Look at this. There's yellow, a little fuchsia, red. It's probably not showing up on the camera, but it's sparkle. It has gold sparkles, and it's called Dazzling again. And this is Brights. Yarn Bee Dazzling Brights. That's the name of the yarn. And it just knits up so pretty, or crochets up so pretty. And so, okay, so you know I'm greedy. I'm greedy like that. Okay, so another week or some other time, I have another coupon. So I thought, okay, if I don't see anything else I like, then I go back and I found this color. This is called Pool. And this is all I have left, but I'm getting ready to show you the shawl that I made, because it's just hard to really see all the colors in here. Like I said, this is all I have left. I bought two skeins of it. One I paid for, one I could use a stupid coupon. Oh gosh, if they were like Joanne, so you could just use everybody's coupons or use, and then I can just buy, I could have bought up more. I mean, they hurt their own self because you'd spend more, you know. But hey, to each his own. So here is my second shawl that you saw in the pictures of this pretty dazzling color. And as you can see, there's blues, dark blues, greens, teals, silver sparkle in it, and it just caught my eye. And of course, when you knit it up, it knits up different. The pattern is much different than when you crochet it up. Crocheting, the colors kind of separate more. You can see them individually, where if I was knitting this shawl, they would just slowly run into each other, just real smooth, like flow into each other. So that's a great difference. So, but on their yarn, they don't really tell you what weight it is, and maybe it does, maybe somewhere it does. But going by the needle size, the knitting needle size, they use call for US 7. So I consider that kind of near the lightweight. You know, it's not full worsted. So I thought, I'm going to try this on the shawl, and they call for an I crochet hook, which is what I used on all, you know, on these shawls. So that worked out good. I thought, okay, well, that's something in my favor. So here it is, and I'm going to flip it over on the back so you can see it. And it's just really pretty, and as you can see, you can wear it, you know, like a shawl, like this, or you can do that, you know, how you wear it in the front and bring it around and let the tails hang down. And also, you can also wear it like this. You can just wear it as a, you know, I like my little, you know, my little tennis-like things, my little tennis sweaters. Well, this works out really pretty too, because it makes a great tie in the front. Oh, I didn't take a picture of that. I should. Maybe, yeah, maybe I did. Makes a great tie in the front. And look at that, with a pin. Oh, I don't have my flower over here, or some kind of pin. But you put a pin on there, bam. It is so pretty. So I worked this one up, and so I had to I had to change the pattern just a little bit, because as you can see on the shoulder shawls are much wider. This is more for your neck, so you have to be able to increase. Everything is exactly the same except, oh, there's a net, except the way that I had to increase a lot quicker, because you don't have as much room to do the increase on. Does that make sense? Everything else is the same. It has a filet crochet, decreasing edge here. You see that? It's just the same. And I left quite a few on this one, like I say, because I didn't want it too wide, because I'm short. And, you know, I just, you know, but you can go as far as you want to go. This is your, you get to put your own mind to how you want this. Okay, and there's the other side, just as pretty. So, let me just lay it down here and go walk you through, since I won't have to do another sample. It's exactly the same, except how I set the rows up. I just made them a little, I made the increases a little faster, so that you could grow, you can increase quickly and then decrease from the points in. Alright, so I start out on this one, and the first 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, the first 3 rows are the 5 double crochet shells with no increases or anything. You just work 1, 2, 3. You work 3 rows. I'm reading it off my paper here. Okay, then you put a mark, so you, or you know, make sure you can know where you are. Then the next 3 rows, it's 5. Let's see, is that right? Yeah, 5 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3. But you're gonna make the first increase. You're gonna chain 1, 5 double crochets, chain 1. Okay. Then the next rows that we're gonna work is for the second increase, but we're gonna work 5 rows. The first 2 was just 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 with chain 1 with the increase. Now the next is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is when I'm going to increase chain 2, change the 5 double crochets to 7, and chain 2. And I will see, can I put this on the screen? I think I'll see if I can get him to put it on the screen. Okay, and then on this one, because we have to try to get it to increase and spread out really quick, The next 5 rows, you will do the chain 3 increase, but you're going to increase the shell to 9 double crochets. So we go from 5 double crochets, then 5 double crochets with a chain 1 on each side, then 7 double crochets with 2 chains on each side, to 9 double crochets with 3 chains on each side. And this will give you this nice crescent or very nice shape. I hope you're showing that. Just a hint. See, it just kind of like, oh, you can see it that way maybe. See how it drapes real nice and has a nice crescent-like shape that will go beautifully around your neck or around, you know, and pull your tails down or however you want to do it. You saw the pictures. So that's the one that I thought you might like to have something a little different and like to try something a little different. Like I say, the yarn doesn't really tell you the weight of it, but I thought I'm going to try it, and then if I didn't like it, see, I wouldn't even show it to you. I just like not said anything. But I think it drapes really pretty. And the sparkle and the color of the yarn, this is great. So, that's number 2. That's your next shawl. And you know, Jay, I just keep it rolling. Once I find something, you know, I just like to see how it looks in other yarns if I can. Like, so let me show you one other little idea that I had, and I'm working on in real time. Okay, before I show you, I had one other thing. Then I thought, oh, I just need to make sure that I tell you. All right, I have about 18. So after I finished everything, you know, all the rows that I wanted to do, then I made sure I was on the right side row. So I think I did a couple extra rows. So mine, I wound up with 18 of these shells. And then you finish, you do exactly the same as the shoulder shawl. You put your little scallops along the edge of your filet crochet. You just follow them, just the steps we just covered. And then the bottom edge is when you will do like chain 3, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, for all those 9. So you'd have 9 at the end. This one ends in 9, only to give you a quick increase to get it to spread out quickly, and then you would but it's finished exactly the same, just the rows, just like I've shared with you, are laid out different. And like I said, and as I was working and finished that, I didn't want to stop. I was having so much fun, so I looked through my stash and look, bam. Bingo, look. Let's see if I'm on camera, see how pretty that looks. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? And here is the edge. Now I'm not done with this. I'm still working, so I haven't got to the rows that maybe I needed. But I want to get it on camera. Now there's the filet crochet side, and then of course just the simple shell. Who knew a shell could be so pretty? Oh, well, Jay knew, and now you know. Isn't that pretty? And guess what yarn this is? Like I said, I was looking through my stash. I got so much. I need to just stay out of the stores. I mean, I've just got so much yarn. And guess what this is? Red Heart Unforgettable. I have this in lots of, well, you know all the colors this comes in. Beiges and burgundies, you know, variegated, and just all colors. I thought I had my bag here. Oh, well. But I have this in other colors, and I'm thinking, okay, now it does say it's a medium weight. It's one of those thin and thick, thin and thick. So I think that's why it works. If it was just real regular worsted, you know, with just the same thickness all the way through, I think it would not probably drape, and it probably wouldn't drape as pretty, and it probably wouldn't work. But since this yarn is, you know how it's very thin, sometimes it gets so thin it breaks. and then it goes a little thicker, and then back thin, and then medium, and then thin. So I believe this is why it works. I use my eye crochet hook, and this is Red Heart Unforgettable, and this color, well, you know they got it in so many colors, Candid. That's a crazy name. But I'm sure I know you have some too. It's worked exactly the same as the neck shawl that I just covered. And like I said, you determine the length you want, and then you will end it the same way. Chain 3, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the edge, and this is increased to 9 just to make it nice and full. And look at that nice little shape without doing a lot of work. You're not sweating it. You're not having to worry about wraps and turns if you're not ready for short rows. So what do you think of that? I just couldn't stop. And I wanted you to see the possibilities of just working out of your own stash. Who knew? Well, I hope you have enjoyed this little trip down memory lane, and I hope you really give this shoulder shawl or neck shawl a try. The stitch is very simple. I try to keep my things simple. I try to use the yarn out of our stash, yarn that you are familiar with, that you can kind of see how the project will look on you. And I just think this was going to be a great one. I think this is going to be a go-to one. I know it will be for me, because it's just really quick and just fun. So I wanted to share it with all my friends on the YouTube. And as usual, if you finish anything, if you crochet or knit any of my projects, send me some pictures. Like my friends, did you check out Jay's Friendship album, page 3? I'm telling you, they are knocking it out of the ballpark. Everyone did just beautiful work. So anytime you finish something, look on the screen. It tells you exactly what to do at the end of the Jay's Friendship album. Send it to me, and then I will collect them and hold them until I have enough to do the next video, which will be page 4, and we can share your beautiful work with the whole world to see. And I appreciate them so much. I appreciate the support. And see, that's encouraging to me. Like, okay, people are really getting it. I mean, nobody said, oh, Jay, I don't understand it. Oh, this sounds crazy. I can't. They just, some of them did more than 1 or 2 or 3. They just kept going. Because I do my best to try to keep it simple, and I do my best to try to answer questions. And I think of questions in my head, and I think, okay, somebody else might ask that question. So I try to be as detailed as I can without just being ridiculous. And I'm trying to get even better. It takes time. Look, people, it takes time. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this. I have enjoyed your coming by, sitting and just listening to me chat and take you down my little memory lane, and I'll do more of that now, since I've been on here, quite a while now. So I really I'm not one, as you can tell, like to talk about myself. I've lived several lives, so when I start telling you about them, I don't want you to say, now wait a minute, nobody can have that many. Nobody could have done so many different things. Well, I'll tell you, as a little at a time, like I shared in this episode. But in the meantime, I want you to give this a try. I want you to tell your friends. I want you to tell them to please subscribe. I hardly ever say that. I forget about it. I listen to other people, and they always say that, and I'm thinking, Jay, you never ask people. You know what? I just never think about it. I just feel like we're friends. And if you like it, you will subscribe. End of story. Whatever, I just, I just enjoy the company. I enjoy yours, and I hope you've enjoyed mine. And I love all the messages at the end of my video. I will never stop looking and reading the mess. I just enjoy it all. So I can't think of anything else until we meet again and I get your pictures. This is Jay, all lit up with all her shawls, beautiful colors, sparkles. Let's have a sparkle party. Look. Woo! Woo! Oh! Oh! This is Jay. This is Jay's Knit and Pearl Jam saying, see ya!